Hey everyone, I'm Danny, and welcome to Muggle Magic. Today we're going to be making a highly requested and very anticipated project of mine, Harry Potter inspired Monopoly. And yes, I am not wearing my glasses. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but first, let's talk about this DIY. I did find other Harry Potter Monopoly boards online. You can download and print. All of them were basically Harry Potter Monopoly, and it said Harry Potter in the Harry Potter logo font on the board, and I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to do something a little bit different. So when I made this board, when I designed it, I went in just looking at it from the perspective of if the Wizarding World were to create their version of Monopoly and sell it as like a novelty item, like a Muggle game, what would that look like? It wouldn't have the Harry Potter logo on it, of course. So I tried to just design it in a way where it looks like it just came directly out of the Wizarding World, and I hope that I succeeded. Anyways, go ahead and check out the description box below for a list of supplies you're gonna need, as well as the link to the free downloadable templates, and let's get started. All right, now, first of all, what we're gonna do is we've got a lot of printing to do. So we have a whole bunch of Monopoly money, or I should say Wizardopoly money that I've designed. And yeah, we wanna cut all of this out, and it takes some time, but once you're done, it's definitely worth it. It looks really nice. To cut this out, there are a few different methods we could do. One is something that I've gone over a ton in almost every one of my videos that I've done in the past, so I'm not gonna take a whole lot of time going over this here, but we could take them like a stack of just one color. We could line them all up, put paper clamps on them to hold the pages together, and then use a ruler and X-Acto knife to cut these out. So you would line it up, take your X-Acto knife, and just cut along that line. That method would take a long time, probably. I mean, not too long, but it would take a while. The other method, which is what I'm going to be doing in this video, is using a paper cutter. And basically, we can just take a few sheets. I think this can only cut through like 5 at a time, so I'll do 3 at a time. So if we just take 3 sheets and line up exactly where we want them to be cut. In fact, we could just use 1 sheet to do the lining up. And then this piece here slides into this notch right here. So now I have that measurement saved, and then I can, just take a few sheets. And as you can see, these 3 are cut pretty straight right in here. Now I'm gonna take another small batch, slide them in here, hold it down, and cut. And now I'm just gonna keep doing that with all of the money. So I'll have this entire stack, just this one line, cut pretty quickly. And now, after I have all of them cut along this edge with my paper cutter, I'm just going to put one in here to measure it out. We're gonna flip it over and get the measurement for this next part right here. We're gonna reset this piece in the notch so that it is in the right spot. There we go, and cut. And we'll cut all of the money again on this side now. And then basically it's just, that's what we're gonna do throughout this whole thing. Once we have all the money cut to this size, then we can measure it this way or to this next cut right here, however you wanna do it, but we need to get all the white cut off of these. Now I finished cutting out all my money and I've separated them all out into their own piles. And while I was doing that, I found out that there are some here that didn't quite get perfect. So this is my imperfection pile. And you can see right here at the bottom that there's a little bit of white. So everything in this imperfection pile here is just has a little bit of white right here, or on the edge somewhere. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my ruler and X-Acto knife just to trim this small stack up to make it look a little better. So basically, just like I explained before, you're just going to line your ruler up with where you want to cut, push down so that the paper doesn't move around underneath, and then use your X-Acto knife to cut right along that edge, and then you should have a pretty nice looking Monopoly bill. So go ahead and do this with all of your imperfect money just to make sure that they look good. Now we do have a lot more to cut, but it's not going to be quite as bad. we have to cut out all of these fate and fortune cards. So again, you're going to print these double-sided on cardstock for these. The money's just on regular paper. But yeah, the fate and fortune cards are going to be on cardstock. And so we're just going to cut this out in the same way. And then we also have these property cards to cut out. And these are actually on cardstock as well, double-sided. Go ahead and cut all this out in the same way that we did the money, and then we'll continue from there to make the board. Now you should have your fate cards and your fortune cards all printed double-sided, and then you should also have your property cards also printed double-sided, and everything should be cut out at this point. And you should have all the money, like a big stack of money over here. So the next thing we need to worry about is the board. And there are a couple of ways to do this. No matter which way you're doing it, you want to print your the pieces to the board out, and then we're going to be kind of putting it together from here. If you're printing 11 by 17 paper, there are 4 pieces, so it's pretty easy. If you're printing on 8.5 by 11, on the other hand, there's going to be more work to do, but you can still do it. So, of course, the first thing we need to do is cut these out. So now I have all 4 pieces cut out, and it's basically like kind of like putting together a puzzle, you know. You just line them up. So the first way I'm going to go over is if you don't have an original Monopoly set that you are going to be transforming into this set. All right, so what you need is some poster board. I just got this black poster board, and we're gonna cut this to size. You need 2 pieces, and both of them should be 10 inches by 20 inches. Now this board that I got is already 20 inches tall, so I just need to make sure that I cut 2 pieces off that are 10 inches wide. And then we're gonna cut this basically just like anything else that we use a ruler and X-Acto knife for. And it's a good idea to cut through part of it, but not all the way through for the middle part. That way you can just cut it down to size 20 by 20 and then just bend it. This cut that I'm making right now is actually the one that's cutting it down to size. There, now I have a 20 by 20 board where the middle of it, I do have that, where I measured over 10 inches, I do have that slit, but it's not all the way through. It didn't come all the way through on this side, so that means that I can just fold this over like this. Now you could leave it like this, but I don't recommend that because it's very likely that it might just over time fall apart or rip apart in the middle. That's why we're going to be using this bookbinding tape to reinforce that middle section. So what I've just done is put 1 strip of bookbinding tape on the side that's not cut all the way through, and then I can sort of fold over the excess ends here, but don't stick it down too hard because we need to fold the board first in half like this. So then we have these parts that we can just sort of tape down here. And now we just need 1 more piece of bookbinding tape. And with the board folded, we'll reinforce the folded part of it right here. And now you should have a board that can easily open and close. It's a good thing, good idea to lay this out first and line it up just so that you know like where these things are going to be placed so that you have an idea of how it's supposed to look. But yeah, once you're ready, just go ahead and start with one of the squares, and I'm just going to use a glue stick and glue this down. There, now we just get it as straight as we can on here and press it down. And that's the process, really. I'm just gonna keep gluing it down until it's done. And when you're all done with the board, it should just be, I mean, you know, it should be like a Monopoly board, basically. It should be able to fold in half, just like a normal Monopoly board in order to store it. and open back up to the Wizardopoly board. It's pretty sturdy, but it's not as sturdy as it could be if you're using an actual Monopoly board. Plus, if you're using an actual Monopoly board, you don't have to make your own board. So first, let me show you this. I went and I was looking at Goodwill for a really long time for a Monopoly board. And I kept finding like Monopoly Junior and stuff, but that wouldn't work. I needed just a traditional Monopoly board. So I finally found this one, and this is what I was going to use. But when I opened it up, it had, well, for one, it had two boards in it. This one is from, looks like 1974. So that's pretty cool. And on Instagram, I did ask about if Monopoly should be, horizontal or diagonal across, and everybody said diagonal. So that's what I went with. But the reason I asked is because, as you can see, it is horizontal on these older boards. But not only did it have this board in it, it also had this board. And this one is super, super vintage. It doesn't have a year on it. Wait, yes it does. I'm sorry, it does. It says 1946. So this board was from 1946. And it looks so cool. I love this aged look. And if I flip it over, check out the Monopoly guy. It looks completely different. So yeah, it came with, what you would expect, the regular plastic houses, but then it also came with this set of really awesome wooden houses and hotels here. So that was a really good find. But it was just so cool, I didn't want to ruin it by transforming it into this Wizardopoly board. So I'm going to be transforming this Bears Collector's Edition Monopoly board into the Wizardopoly. What's another thing that's nice about using an existing set is that you can take all like the money out and stuff, and you can use it to store the one that you built. So there, I just swapped out all the money for my printed money. So we'll keep the dice, and I'm also going to be using the black and orange houses and hotels that came with this, because I think that's a pretty cool color combination to go with. So the fate cards would go here, and the fortune cards would obviously go over here when you play. And I have, like I said, the orange and black houses from the Bears Collector's Edition Monopoly board, and I think these colors go with it pretty well, so these are the ones I'll be including. If you don't have a spare Monopoly board or a Monopoly set, or you don't have like a Goodwill nearby where you could find one, most people do, but if you don't, that's okay. You can order extra pieces for your game online, and that's actually where I got my player tokens. See, these player tokens are actually Harry Potter themed. We have the Hogwarts Express, the Sorting Hat, a Golden Snitch, and a Broomstick. I ordered these online, but they come in the Harry Potter Scene It game, so if you find one of those somewhere, like at Goodwill or something, you can just pick it up there, and you should have these pieces with it. As far as the dice goes, you can just use the dice included with your Monopoly board, or if you don't have it, you can easily just buy a box of dice and use those. However, a patron of mine named Ken sent me these really cool dice that he had made. One of them has the Deathly Hallows symbol, and the other one has the Dark Mark on them, and those are in place of the 1 that you would roll. These are the dice. He actually sent me 4 of them, 2 pair of them basically. So one pair I'm going to include with this Wizardopoly set that I'm giving away. The other set I'm going to keep for my personal board that I'm making for myself. But yeah, that is it. We have our fate and fortune cards, our dice, our player tokens, our houses, and our property cards. Oh yeah, and don't forget the money. We also have the money here. So now we have a full Wizardopoly set. If you'd like a chance at winning the Monopoly set that I made in this video today, you can check out the description box below for a link to the giveaway. I want to do this giveaway a little bit differently, so instead of a weekly giveaway for this, because it just took a lot of time and effort to make this, so I'm going to make this a 28K giveaway. I already have a 26K giveaway for Luna Lovegood themed items, and then I have my 30K giveaway, which is for a Muggle Magic mystery box. So a 28K giveaway really falls right in between those, and I think it's just going to work out better this way than doing a weekly giveaway, because it'll give everybody more chances to win and a lot more people more chances to enter than if it was just for a week. Okay, so I mentioned in the beginning I'm not wearing my glasses. Obviously you can tell. So anybody who cares, I'm going to tell you what happened right now. I got new glasses because my old glasses don't fit quite right, like one of the screws is bent or something, so it doesn't fit quite right, and the lenses are kind of old, so they give me a headache. So I went and I got new glasses. It took them 3 weeks to deliver them. I had them delivered, I wore them for about a week, and they were a little bit crooked, and so I took them in to get them refitted. And the way they do this is they heat the glasses up so that they can actually sort of bend them a little bit and adjust them to fit properly on your face. So that's what I did. And they melted the outside of my lenses on both lenses of my glasses, so it was blurry when they handed them back to me. So they shipped them off to get new ones. In the meantime, I wore my uncomfortable glasses for another 2 or 3 weeks, and then yesterday, literally yesterday, I went in to pick up the glasses that had just come in. They were a little bit crooked. I said I need to get these adjusted a little bit. They melted my lenses again. I'm not kidding. They did this twice. And this time I didn't hardly even get a chance to wear these new glasses. So, needless to say, they're shipped off again, and I'm just tired of wearing my old glasses because they, like I said, they give me a headache, so I'm wearing contacts today. And they make my eyes a little bit itchy. That's why I don't really wear contacts that very often, but I'm tired of my old glasses, to be quite honest. Anyways, rant over, and now to announce the winner of the Weasley's Wizard Wheezes brochure. This was an item that was designed specifically for the Gobstone Alley box, and they sent me a stack of them to give away on my channel, so I'll be giving these away periodically throughout some of my videos. And the winner is Jim Mayer. Congratulations, and I've sent you an email with instructions on how you can claim your prize. Remember, I get a lot of ideas for these DIYs that I do from your comments. So if you have an idea for something that you want to see me do in the future, definitely leave a comment below and let me know. If you're interested in seeing more DIY videos having to do with Harry Potter and more, go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Alright, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.